Hello, my name is Ilona. In this video, I just want to take a quick look at the Netherlands just to explain what is going on here, just for people that maybe don't speak Dutch. At the moment, there's going to be a debate tomorrow about 2G. We have these systems. In Europe, at least, 3G means testing. So you're going to get a test, or you can show proof that you've recovered from what's going on, or you've gotten the wasp stings, and then you get some code you can show. And if you've got the test, you can show that code as well. So that's very linked to that code. We have that at the moment for if you want to go out, if you want to go to a restaurant, and sports, things like that. Of course, at the moment, the cultural sector and all the restaurants are closed still. They're not opening that up. There's a lot of discussion going on. There's a lot of resistance coming up. Why are the shops open and are not the bars and restaurants? So a lot of things going on. So they want to take a look at if they want to, implement 2G. Now 2G means just the wasp sting and recovery, proof of recovery. So no testing anymore. So if you don't got the wasp sting, like me, I won't be able to get out anywhere. But then again, I'm not doing any testing either. So I was already pretty much just staying at home, and that's fine with me. If I have to show something, I'm just not going to go there. It's very simple. But they obviously want to implement 2G for certain areas, and they of course want to extend it to ultimately like supermarkets. In other countries, they already have that. In certain parts in Germany, you have 2G. So you have to show proof that you've recovered or that you've gotten the wasp sting, and otherwise you won't be able to go into a bakery or a shop, things like that. And in other countries they have that as well. I believe in Greece and Italy there's very strict as well. So I'm going to take a look at them later, but I just want to talk about what's going on in the Netherlands. So they really want to look at 2G, and our new health minister and Kuipers actually asked the Technical University in Delft to do research about 2G, and they've done that. And they pretty much just threw it off the table, saying that it's really it's not going to help at all, and it's not going to be very efficient in the situation we are in, especially with this new variant. But very interestingly, they were talking about 1G. Now, to be very honest, I thought that 1G would stand for only people with wasp stings, but apparently in the Netherlands it means testing, and then they mean testing for everyone. And I really had to laugh about that when I saw that popping up in articles, in news and media articles, that they actually wanted to go for 1G. I really felt that was a white hat actions, and my cards were telling me that that was correct, because just think about that logistically. So all these people that gotten all these wasp stings, they can just it was for nothing, but because they still have to get the test. If they're going to implement 1G, really, you still have to get a test, even after everything. A lot of people gotten the wasp sting, not everyone, but a lot of people, just because it's convenient. They've got now the code, they have to worry about a thing, and suddenly, if they're going to implement 1G, at least that was the thought behind it, everyone has to test, and then you have to show test of within 24 hours. So if they would open up like the restaurants and bars, and maybe even start to implement it for like shops and something like that. If you want to then go to a supermarket, you first have to test whether you've gotten the wasp stings or not. So it's, to be very honest, I understand it may be very strange to people, but I just thought that was hilarious. This is a wake-up call for people to understand this is getting outrageous, because let's just think about the logistically, no one is going to be able to do this. Really, everyone will have to get tests just to get into supermarkets. It's ridiculous. So to me, this is really just the white hats. They're going to try to get the 2G anyway, even though the research already said that it's useless. And there's a lot of resistance. It's resistance here in the Netherlands. It's really growing. People are standing up. People are showing that really just open up everything. This is nonsense. In Scotland, they are open up everything. I believe all the restrictions are falling. In the UK, they're going to most likely get rid of the pass, and then we are stuck with this. We have a lot of so how do you say, the cases that people are apparently positive, but our hospitals, all those cases are dropping. So they have these, we of course have all these, how do you say that, models that it's going to be horrible, and they all failed, and it's all nonsense. So people are really starting to see through that now in the Netherlands. So we'll just have to wait and see what's going on here. But I just thought that was hilarious. To me, really had white hats written all over it. But I do want to take a look at the 3 countries, Italy, Greece, and Germany. It's very interesting because it's very strict there. In Germany, there is, I believe, in Niedersachsen that the pass has already fallen through, so they don't have that. But in a lot of parts in Germany, it's very strict. It's 2G, so you cannot go to a supermarket or bakery or whatever if you don't have the wasp stings or proof of recovery. And in Italy, I believe everyone above 50 needs to get the wasp stings, or you won't be able to go to your jobs. I think it's very... In Greece, you cannot go to church without a pass. It's and other things. It's very restrictive. Now, people are asking, why is it so different? I do believe it has to do with the frequency of a country and the frequency of the area and the, of course, frequency of the population. The interesting thing I saw about all these 3 countries, that in their past, they all have been taken over by a military government, and it's from themselves then. Of course, the Netherlands have been taken over in the Second World War, but that was a foreign military that took over for 5 years. But in Germany, well, I don't have to really explain that. But in Italy as well, you had from, I'm just going to see where, from 1922 till 1943, a military government with, of course, Mussolini. And in Greece, there was a military government from 1967 till 1974. And that is a certain energy. Not every country has had a military government. So I find that very interesting. So somehow people at a certain frequency accepted, consciously or unconsciously, because it's always shown as, well, they've just taken over, there wasn't really a choice. But you have to understand, if there's a certain frequency, it won't happen. So there has to be a certain frequency for the military to just take over their country. These are from the military, from Germany themselves and from Greece themselves and Italy. It wasn't a foreign country. This came from the inside. So this is interesting to me. And I'm just going to take a look at Italy. What is the energy there? What is the energy of Italy? Oh, yes, we have the Emperor. That's the card above. We have the Chariot. That's the central card. We've got the 10 of Swords in the past. We have the Wheel of Fortune underneath the Chariot. And we have the Knight of Swords for the future. This is interesting because this is a military card. So I do believe there's still this very tough energy that needs to be healed. They need to get away from this energy that people are just taking over. It is a certain energy of giving completely your power away. If the military takes over, they pretty much decide everything in your life. So I think that this is the energy they're trying to heal right now. The Chariot is that they are getting away from that. So there is change, especially with the Wheel of Fortune. But it's not going to be easy. Things are going to move fast, and this is a pretty aggressive energy, so it wouldn't surprise me if things are going to change in Italy in a very abrupt way. We are, of course, all kind of waiting for the white hats to step up. I do believe if in America things will change, then of course the rest of the world will follow. But in Italy, it can still get a little aggressive. I think they've already taken out a lot of things. We've had the Vatican there, of course, a lot of negative energy from the black elite. So they're clearing up that, and I think they're moving away from that energy. They're moving away, and it takes a lot of healing. So people still need to wake up out of that. So there's a certain frequency there that needs to be cleaned, and they're working on it. It needs to be cleared. It's about taking control of their own lives again. So that's interesting to see. Now I'd like to take a look at Greece. What is the energy there? Like I said, it's very tough there as well, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Oh, okay. Well, this one wants to get out. That's the star. So it is protected. This is the card above. That's interesting. We have the moon. That's the central card. We have the Knight of Wands. And underneath the central card, we've got the Four of Pentacles. And the future is the Wheel of Fortune. So it's also turning in Greece, but at the moment, there are still some people or energies holding on to what they've got. So there's a lot of confusion still going on. But the card of the star is, again, a very beautiful element. So there is protection going on there. There's probably a lot more going on under the ground, underneath. I do believe that it's very important in the places, in the tunnels as well. So I do believe there's a lot of protection going on as well. So at the moment, they're probably also, the Whiteheads are using certain restrictive areas to do their thing. But there's still some energies there. Try to hold on the last thing they've got. And of course, they're losing it. Because it's changing, things are changing. This is usually completely change, new direction. And I do believe Greece will be going in a new direction as well. But at the moment, it's still very confusing what is going on. But the Whiteheads also, and this is the card from the past, have been taking care of a lot of things there. Still a lot of things need to be worked out, but there are certain energies trying to hold on to what they've got. And that's basically the problem. But Greece is protected. There is this beautiful star energy there. So I do believe things will change there as well. Well, things are already changing, but we will see more change. I do believe that that's like globally things are going to change. We just have to wait and see in what way things are going to change. But I'm just going to take a look at Germany. See what time. I can still take a look at Germany as well. What is going on there? We've got the Four of Pentacles. That's interesting. This time it's the card above. This is the Two of Pentacles. That's the central card. We've got the Lover's card in the past. The Wheel of Fortune. Well, this is an interesting card. It keeps popping up in all these three countries. And we have the King of Wands. And that's for me the Whitehead card. So right now it's more of what is going on. Probably it's not really just confusing in a way, but more like it's still a bit in the air which way it's going to go. If it's going to get more strict or not. They're talking about a mandate as well. They want to mandate the wasp sting. So they were still talking about it. It's a bit like they're throwing some balls in the air, like, well, are we going to do anything with it or not? I just want to see if people are going to react to that. Again, here we have certain energies that want to hold on to what they've got. So there's still some black energy going on there. But interesting enough, it's already changing. So this card was, of course, in Greece in the future, but this one is at the moment already the influence in Germany. So I do believe they're already changing. Wouldn't surprise me at all if they are going to change course, especially with this card. So I'm not sure that that mandate is actually going to come out, or that they're actually going to implement that. They're talking about that. They're talking about that. But I don't get this feeling that they will be able to implement it, especially not with this card. So I do believe that the Whiteheads are going to take complete control over Germany in the future and will work their way through that. Of course, more and more things are going to come out. We're already seeing that everywhere around the world. Things are, certain truths are coming out. It's just, in a way, very strangely, a very amazing time, because now we're finally seeing things, what people have been talking about in the truther community. We can now see things coming out and see, like, yeah, other people are now noticing, like, well, yeah, you said that before, or other people mention, of course, there are a lot of people in the truther community working like for years with all this information, trying to get it out. And now people are starting to see, who are not even in the Truva community, something's going on, something's not right. Everything is brought to the to the foreground. Everything is brought into the light, which is what needs to be done right now. This great awakening is about light, is about showing everything that's going on in the dark, so people can consciously see what's going on, and finally step into their own power and into their own authority. So this is very important also in Germany. So things are going to change there as well. It's already changing. I think the change has already started, but we're going to see more and more of that, especially with the Wheel of Fortune. Once it starts turning, more things will come out. So I do believe in these countries there's this background, this frequency of complying or giving away power. And of course that's like what's happening on a global scale. As humanity, we have given away our power one way or the other, whether we were conscious of that or unconscious. We've given it away to our governments, we've given away to these elites that really been running the show for as long as we can remember. Our history, our educational system, our medical system, our financial system, everything has been taken over. And it's now time that we need to realize that we need to start living from the heart. This is, by the way, the card in the past. So changes in Germany are already set in motion to get that connection reconnected with God, with our connection with our soul. And it's so important that we do that we start seeing things and feeling things from our heart. So many things have been taken over, and we really need to understand that we are responsible for ourselves. We are responsible for our energy. We are responsible for what we manifest. So I'd like to leave it at this, and I hope to see you in another video. Bye.